Sorry.
Yes. All right, Andy. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. This is a meeting of the City of Brisbane Park and Recs Commission. And it is Wednesday, January 11th at 6:40 p.m. This meeting is compliant with the Ralph M. Brown Act as amended by California Assembly Bill number 361, effective September 16th, 2021, providing for a public health emergency exception to the standard teleconference rule required by the Brown Act. The purpose of this is to provide a safe environment for the public, staff, and commissioners while allowing for public participation. The public may address the commission using exclusively remote public comment options. The commission may take action on any item listed in the agenda. The Park and Rec Commission meeting will be an exclusively viral meeting. Members of the public may view the meeting by logging on to the Zoom webinar listed below or on Comcast channel 27 and the city's YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/BrisbaneCA. The agenda materials may be viewed online at www.brisbaneca.org/meetings. Join the Zoom webinar at www.brisbaneca.org/park-rec-webinar. Meeting ID number 920-4174-1911. Passcode 123456. To address the commission, members of the public are encouraged to submit written comments before the meeting. Members of the public who join the live Zoom webinar may address the commission in the meeting when called upon by the chairperson. Please use the chat box in Zoom to alert staff that you want to address the commission. Members of the public watching the meeting on YouTube or on channel 27 may email or text comments prior to the start of the agenda of the particular agenda item to the below email and text line. The email is jbondoc@brisbaneca.org. The text number is 415-519-9588. A call-in number is also available for those watching the meeting on YouTube or channel 27 for oral communications and public hearing items. The phone number is 1-253-215-8782. The meeting ID number is 920-4174-1911. After entering the meeting ID and pressing pound, simply press pound a second time to enter the meeting waiting room. No participant code is required. Please wait to call until the chairperson and/or staff announces that the phone line is open. When you are led into the meeting room, press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself before addressing the commission. To avoid feedback, please turn off the volume of the meeting broadcast on your TV or computer. You will still be able to hear the commissioners through your phone. Special assistance. If you need special assistance to participate in this meeting, please contact the Park and Recreation Department at 415-508-2140 in advance of the meeting. Notification in advance of the meeting will enable the city to make reasonable arrangements to ensure accessibility to this meeting. And now, call to order. Roll call.
All righty. Thanks, Lisa. So we'll start with you, Chairperson Greenlee.
Here.
Commissioner Kern.
Present.
Commissioner Ocampo.
Present.
Commissioner Sewell.
Present.
Commissioner Sims.
Present.
Is that it? Is that everyone for tonight?
Has Renee joined us yet?
No. No Trudy either.
Well, Renee will probably join us later. She was on her way.
Okay.
Okay, is that it?
That's it for now.
Okay, item number 3, adoption of the agenda. I need to add one item to the agenda, which is to add the Art Advisory Subcommittee meeting report from December 5th. Okay. And is there anything else to add or comment about the agenda?
Oh, I like to make a motion to approve the agenda with those changes.
I will second that.
Sorry, was that you just now, Julie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we are moving to adopt tonight's agenda. Chairperson Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Curran,
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, can I make a ask of Noreen or somebody to check Renee with the link? She's still having trouble getting on.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, so moving on, approval of minutes for November 9th, 2022. Do I have an approval for any changes that anyone wants to make?
I can move to approve.
I can second.
Who seconded just now? I'm sorry. Lisa.
I don't know if I can, but I am.
Oh, that's completely fine.
Take a look.
Alrighty.
Okay, great.
So we're moving to approve the minutes of our previous meeting. Chairperson Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Curran,
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo,
If I didn't attend that meeting,
You just abstain.
abstain. Okay, abstain.
abs- Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, moving to item number 5, citizens communications. Do we have any citizens communication?
We do have someone who would like to speak tonight. Nick, I will allow you to talk.
I see myself. Is it, are you able to show me? Okay, so I wanted to come to ask a question actually about moving concerts in the park back to Friday. So, but first of all, I want to thank you guys for your service. Appreciate the hard work. Just by way of background, I'm Nick. I live up on the Ridge. I've been in Brisbane since 2008. I'm on the Lions Club, Chamber of Commerce, and the HOA board, so I'm involved in a lot of things. The main reasons I was going to suggest to move it back to Friday is one, Sundays midday, June, it's extremely hot. It's like people are kind of baking out there, especially on the really windy days. I was barbecuing every concert this past summer, so we were there from start to finish. And it was also pretty difficult on us. One day, a tent blew away, and so we were barbecuing in direct sunlight, so it was just kind of difficult. And I pulled a lot of people on the Lions Club, some of whom were mentioned earlier, Dan Carter, Sue Cochran, who are involved in a lot of these same organizations, asking them like, what are the reasons, da-da-da, and then can you think of any reasons to keep it on Sunday? And everybody I could talk to thinks it's a good idea to move it back to Friday. It's also more fun and festive because it's the end of the week and people don't have Monday on their minds. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. I have to say, so I was a commissioner on the concerts in the park on the committee, and I think Trudy was the other one. I am definitely open to that. And I had similar feedback from Lions Club members that it's also better for business. You know, if you have the concert in the park and then people can naturally go to the restaurants and, you know, get something to eat there. I've also had feedback from residents who really liked having the concerts on a weekend, because it was warmer, maybe too warm. So I wondered, Nick, how would you feel if we looked at dividing them, kind of having half and half, or is the feeling, that people really want to stick to Fridays, or would people, you think, could we please everybody by doing a mix?
It's a really good question. So I only know that everybody that I've spoken to has only been able to reason why they would like it on Friday. I'm sure all of us in that camp would be happy if like half of them went back. I wonder if there's a way to, like, maybe you guys on your own can just sort of like poll some more people informally and see if you can like get a little bit more tea leaves. But I would say either all Friday or half and half would be good. I also asked Dan about the business, how much, do we make more money or whatever? And Dan was saying, it's not really the point. We're just basically taking donations. He's like, neither one was particularly good or bad for business, but I think he joined me in feeling like it was more enjoyable to work it in the evenings. There's some older people there that were having trouble like volunteering all day in the sun.
With the heat.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of makes sense. Hey, Nick, this is Frank, that like on a Friday night, nobody wants to cook dinner. So if you are offering something for dinner on a Friday night, I'd be more than likely to purchase, although I do support you guys on the Sundays. So yeah, and Julie, maybe there's something that the subcommittee could do. I'm not on that subcommittee, but maybe there's something we can do to mix it up a little bit. I will tell you that I personally threw mini parties.
Are they at Donworth Hall?
Oh.
Sorry, Natalie. Yeah, I personally threw parties for family and friends around those events on the Sundays because people with children, it was easy for them to come over to my house and do a little barbecue and then head over to the concert or barbecue after. So I kind of had fun with that, but I totally see the point. There was that one super hot, sunny day where I actually had to take my dog home. It was so hot. So yeah, maybe there's something we can do as a commission just to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the idea of a mix because I think we've heard from a variety of people, like some really like the Sundays, especially with kids, and then some really like the Friday nights. And I do want to think about the businesses too, because that's an important part of this. So I'd be all in favor of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to do a little more conversation with people too, just to figure out, what most people are feeling with that. So thank you, Nick, for bringing this to us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Nick.
All
Actually,
right.
to add to that, as part of our survey, did we also send out I know like we had that survey. Was that
Yeah.
also part of the questionnaire too?
We did not include that. And it was one of the questions that got removed because we didn't want to ask the question and then we had already set the agenda by then. So we didn't want people to think we weren't listening. But I think if we do another survey, it should absolutely be on. But in the meantime, I would just say maybe we can all, just as commissioners, talk to some folks and see what the idea is. Like, what I love about this is that everyone wants to be at the concerts in the park. And like, that is great news. And I want to make them accessible for everybody. As I'm sure we
Exactly.
all do. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I have to rein this in because I've been told that normally we don't discuss things like this after.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was great.
Anyway, I'm going to take off, but thank you guys.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Nick. I'm
Thanks.
so glad you called in. It's
Okay,
really
and I
good.
appreciate the conversation. I know it was maybe a little out of course. All right, see you later.
No.
Bye, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other citizen communications?
That's it for tonight.
Okay, great. And now we have presentations. Do we have any presentations? No presentations. Okay, old business. No old business. New business. Let's see. Oh, consider dates and topics for commission retreat and goal setting workshop.
Yeah, so in the past, pre-pandemic, we would conduct maybe every 2 or so years a commissioner workshop that was kind of a working retreat where we identified goals for the upcoming year and talked through kind of what the commission had aspired to accomplish, to kind of lay out the calendar for the year. I feel like now would be a good time to do that with this group since everybody's kind of had an opportunity to get their feet wet. And I know coming off the tails of the commissioner workshop that was in Burlingame, there were a lot of great ideas that were being tossed around. And so I think on the heels of that, it would be, we're stepping into a new year. So I think it's good timing. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there to the commission to kind of talk through potentially throwing out a couple of dates that might work in the next couple of months. February, March, I think would probably be ideal. I don't want to get too far into the year without taking some time to set some goals and aspirations. So I don't know what everybody's calendar looks like. It's always a challenge to kind of get everybody together, and I recognize that. But I think if we could narrow down maybe a few possible dates, and then I can work with Jovi to firm something up. In the past, we've done like a half day Saturday morning, like a 9 to 1. I'm open to other ideas. I know, people work during the week and evenings can be challenging after a full work day to really dedicate a lot of brain power towards this. So the weekend, kind of 4 or 5 hour time frame, and we can provide lunch or breakfast. It has been nice in the past. So just wanted to throw that out there. And then also to help kind of frame the context for that in identifying potential other topics that the commissioners want to explore a little bit more in depth, to be able to have some additional dialogue around those topics would be helpful for staff as well.
I love it. I'd rather do it sooner rather than later, like in February. I like the 9 to 1 idea with lunch. And the topic that's most pressing or interesting to me is what to do with the community center and how we as a commission can raise funds and create plans.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if I mean, I know it's kind of our commission, but so many times when we run up against this problem of planning things and dreaming about things and then get told that it's kind of not in our lane, or we don't have the budget, or it would be nice if we had maybe some other people from outside our group to kind of help us consult. I mean, would the city manager sit in for an hour, or maybe a city council person sit in for an hour, or could we invite some other people just to join us, or is that not what we're doing?
I think that we could, depending on the topic, where it is appropriate, then we could certainly explore reaching out to have other folks kind of come and provide additional context or information.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful, because I get really frustrated when we come up with great ideas and then are told, oh, don't even talk about that, and then we've wasted hours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as we flesh out our agenda, let's keep in mind of other people that we could pull in, even just for an hour,
Even I wonder, Lisa, if there's anyone from Burlingame or who, could advise us, because I know part of the issue with the community center is funding, right? And this is what I do for a living. I'm a nonprofit girl. If I could get advice on this is what you need to do to apply for grants or to get, momentum going behind this, I would love that.
Well, I did have a really good time speaking with someone from South City on exactly that topic. So maybe I'll be able to go through my notes and reach out to that person.
That would be great.
The other thing that's a little off topic, but not really, is our whole quarry trail plans have kind of been washed out to sea. or maybe it's an opportunity to start over from scratch. So I'd like to talk about that and what impact this flood has had on our whole trail system. Any other topics that are hot on your mind that we can put on this agenda? Anyone?
Frank and I shouldn't wear the same sweaters at meetings.
Renee too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo, but that would be.
Yeah.
Good observation skills, Tom.
Lisa, we went to, and I guess Noreen, you were there too. There was that kind of region-wide get together back in the late fall on a Saturday. And I remember as we were walking out, Lisa, I told you one of the things I'd love to do is exactly what we're talking about, and like just set 3 big goals for this particular group. And for me, it would have been the gym equipment on Quarry Park Trail, which also has probably washed out to sea. But that was, I think, something that was kind of on people's radar already coming in, and I'd like to see that through if I could.
I would love that. And I will say, like, if we even narrowed it down to 2 things that we really want to do as a commission. I'm reading this book called Essentialism for Work, which is like how to narrow down your goals so you can really move on them. But like, if it's Quarry Park and the community center, it would be amazing to just really drill into those and how we can achieve our goals with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and bring in. Oh, go ahead.
Right. No, but to Julie's point, yeah, I think narrowing it down to 1 or 2 goals is fantastic, and it keeps the commission focused, and it really allows us to get some solid, good traction. But at the same time, if I knew that it was going to be super easy and super affordable, and the money was there to put in bocce ball courts over putting in the fitness equipment on the trail, I would say, okay, well, let's spend some time on the bocce ball courts, even though they're a lower priority. But I don't have access and insights into what's available to do what with. And so
Yeah.
Lisa's like, let's bring somebody else in here who can help guide us and say, this is what the hotel tax is intended for. This is what the new sales tax is intended for. And so we got more of a smorgasbord, if you will, of options on to pick and choose how to focus this. But I totally agree with you, Julie. Those are my 2 favorite things to think about too. But, you know, otherwise, maybe there's some other easier stuff we can get done too.
Yeah, good point, Frank. I would like to have a better understanding of what we're working with.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly my point. And I would like help from staff to maybe help us facilitate who they think could answer some financing questions and maybe help us prioritize in realistic ways. But I also think that this might be a great opportunity to just brainstorm. You know, that whole thing we did at the countywide meeting where we just had a big piece of paper on the wall that just said, what keeps you up at night? You know, oh, what are your dreams built on in Brisbane Park and Rec? You know, it would be great to put some time aside to just dream and to put those goals out there, and maybe stuff we haven't thought about.
This is all great. I'm rapidly taking notes.
Hey, okay, so
So do we need to revisit the needs assessment survey before we go into this agenda as well?
Mm.
We could certainly fold it into that.
Okay, now do we just need to do dates, or is there any other topics that people want to discuss?
And is that too much or too little, Noreen, in your opinion?
Well, let me get to the drawing board and kind of frame it out and make some suggestions. And then Lisa and I can kind of massage it to make sure that it feels realistic within the designated time frame. And then we can work to identify other folks that we
Because that's always the thing I'm Not sure. That's always the thing I'm not sure. I have, like, what should we be doing on those things?
Yeah, so I totally agree with you. We are so good at ideating and coming up with ideas. I would like to spend my calories too, helping with the implementation and helping, get involved in driving that change. So I agree with you.
Okay. So I guess now just dates from you, Noreen?
What was that, Lisa?
Just dates, or are we going to do that through email?
Yeah, I think just if you could look quickly at your February calendar on Saturday, probably in the first half of the day, and let me know if you have any blackout dates.
Well, are we just throwing dates out here? The second Saturdays are usually best for me. The rest of the months, sadly, I'm committed to delivering food for our church's food pantry on Saturday mornings, but I can get out of it if I need to. So, but the second Saturdays I'm always off. So that's
Is that the 18th? Because I could do February 18th.
No, that's the 11th.
Okay, so wait, that's the one you can't do.
No, the 11th is the one I can do.
Okay.
The rest of them are tough, but doable. I can change. I can just get somebody to switch with me. So if the 11th doesn't work for everybody else, that's fine.
I can do February 11th.
I can too.
I'm going to have to say go forward without me because I cannot make any Saturday in February, but I am wide open in March.
Ugh.
We can't do it without Frank.
Stop it.
No.
What about early March?
Early March is great. Gives us lots of time to plan. Frank, what's your March look like?
March is, looks like every single Saturday in March is wide open.
Should we do the first Saturday in March?
Yeah, let's try that.
The 4th?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's throw out a secondary date since Trudy's not here.
How about March 11th?
March 11th. Would that work easier for you?
It would, but it doesn't matter. It's so far in advance. I could find a sub, no problem.
Okay, so March 4th or March 11th?
Mhm.
Yeah, March 4th and March 25th work out for me.
Okay.
So let's just say March 4th, hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you guys, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. So I'll work with Jovi to confirm that that works for everybody, and then we'll move forward. If not, we'll throw out some alternate dates in a doodle poll of some sort. So
Okay, great.
thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
Yay. Okay, now we have reports. And it's a chairperson's report, and that's me. Any news from the staff on the ongoing flood reports? It's just such on everybody's mind as far as assessing the damage to Firth Park, Quarry Road, Quarry Trail, the main park, and all the facilities. How did things go? I was just gonna ask about that. That was foremost on my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a formal report. I think we're still kind of surviving through it. We had a bunch of rain come today, and although tomorrow looks a little bit more clear, we have rain forecasted through the weekend. So I think it's too early to have a formal assessment. I do want to thank all of the commissioners and our staff that were out there making sandbags and doing whatever they possibly could to help alleviate kind of the stresses and mitigate some of the issues that we experienced as a result of the storm. It's definitely a group effort. Public Works has been extremely hard at work trying to manage all of the various scenarios that we've experienced over the last couple of weeks. And so a huge kudos to their entire team for just their dedication and being out there every single day and night. I do intend to work closely with Randy, our Public Works Director, on, parks and recreation facilities, both indoor and outdoor, to provide kind of an overarching assessment of the condition of our facilities. Our Park and Rec team have been going around to all of our indoor facilities, checking on their statuses. Our team was out at the dog park, working to kind of clear mud and debris out there, clear the storm drains. We have experienced some issues with a leak at the pool, and some issues at the sunrise room. So we're just trying to manage those and provide some kind of short-term solutions until we can get to those more long-term solutions, given the hierarchy of precedents that exists today. So we appreciate everybody's patience in trying to manage through those situations. And hopefully when we have a few days of sequential non-rain, clearer weather, we can kind of do more of a deep dive into analyzing the conditions of our facilities and audit them based on what we think that they might need. So more to come on that, definitely. I'm sorry I don't have definitive information for you tonight, but I think it's still a little bit too early to be able to say definitively what exactly the needs are going to be moving forward. But I think everybody's aware of the extent of damage that we experienced to both Crocker Trail and Quarry Road Trail, given the Enforth Park, given the blowout of both canyons. So yeah, I mean, cleanup efforts are still ongoing.
Noreen, I just wanted to ask, what can we do? Like, is there anything that you need us as a Parks and Rec Commission to do? Like, could we?
I'm sure there will be at some point. I think the more immediate needs were really kind of filling sandbags. And I think, many people have stepped up to support there. And I think now we're feeling that we're in a good place with that. But like I said, we'll work with the Public Works team to identify other opportunities for support from community volunteers, and I'll be sure to keep you informed.
Okay, great.
The Park and Rec Department stands ready to serve.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I really do think that, like, we could spend a Saturday cleaning up a trail or doing whatever. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I know we'd be happy. Like, that's what I was wondering. What can we do?
Yeah, we can definitely continue that conversation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next on the agenda is the subcommittees. And I guess we are setting subcommittee meetings.
Well, before we do that, we do want to have that report out regarding the Public Art Advisory Committee.
Oh, right.
That's
Sorry.
you and Tom.
Yeah, that's me and Tom. I forgot that's where this is. It got squished in my notes. Okay, Tom, do you remember that meeting? I remember it vaguely. I have some recollections. What are your recollections?
I remember we came to the conclusion that we're going to work on the master plan. And I can't remember the reason why, but we only had a couple people turn in estimates and then one bailed out. We didn't get enough estimates for what? Do you remember?
It was for consultants.
Yeah, a consultant to help us with the master plan.
No, really just a consultant to help with like our first installation, which we thought we were ready to do. And then once we drilled down into it, we decided that we weren't really ready to do it because we were getting no response for our consultant, whatever you call it, where you call out for somebody. Nobody was interested in the job. And then that kind of brought it back to us to say, what is it that we really want? Or what do we see as art in Brisbane? And what would that mean to the citizens of Brisbane? So we brought that back to our committee to saying we really need to write our, our master plan, which is like what you said. And so that's where we're at. And I think we're going to tackle that next. And it seems like that's the cart before the horse. The horse before the cart kind of idea. So that's where we left it. After much machinations. So there you go. That's the end of that meeting. More to come. So now do we move on to subcommittees? Okay, we're moving on to subcommittees. Are there any subcommittee meetings that need to happen? We're here in the new year.
If I may, I think it would be appropriate to convene the Concerts in the Park Subcommittee, just based on Nick's comments and the robust conversation that ensued, but also because it is the time of year where staff will be drafting the fundraising plan to take to City Council for their approval. But also now is the time of year where staff start their outreach to potential sponsors and donors, and then start booking bands as well, to make sure that we have a nice selection of bands to choose from before they're all booked up for the summer. So I think it would be timely to convene that subcommittee.
Agree.
And that is Trudy, Natalie, and Julie.
I'm free next week, anytime after like 4 o'clock.
I am free until the 19th, and then I'm going to be in Panama for 10 days.
That sounds completely awful.
What about next Tuesday or Wednesday, the 17th or 18th?
Sure, that works. I'll work around anyone's schedule.
Julie, would that work for you?
I think so. Let me hold on 1 second. Yes.
Okay, after 4 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. I will talk to staff to make sure they're available, and then we'll have Jovi send out the formal meeting notice and calendar invite.
Right.
So Tuesday or Wednesday next week after 4 p.m.
Wednesday's better for me.
Wednesday's better. Okay. We'll try to make that happen.
Okay, I'm just looking at the subcommittee list. Should I just go down the list and we just kind of say yay or nay as to whether we're gonna do a meeting?
Or I might suggest just considering those that may be more time sensitive and then holding off on others until after our goal setting. So we can flesh out those concepts a little bit more at the subcommittee level if there are outcomes from the commission retreat.
Oh, that's a great idea. I did have one event that, of course, I'm going to push, which is a new event for the event committee. After our lovely success of the garden show last year, it was suggested that maybe we do a spring garden event, which we called the Spring Garden Tour, which is a fundraiser for to be determined. It might be the community garden, which is what we're thinking. And I'd like to just start planning that because we need to have it in the spring.
I love it.
So it was discussed last fall, and I just want to kind of get a meeting going with the city and any other people that we need to draw in to make it happen.
Okay, so that would be the events subcommittee, which is Lisa, Frank, and Tom.
Mhm.
Noted.
Hey, Lisa, this was the concept where we would sell tickets and tour private gardens. This
Yeah.
is that. Oh, yeah. This is going to be great, by the way.
I think it's so great. And honestly, if you need any help, let me know.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good year because we will have lots of water.
Yes. The jungle tour.
Yes.
Brisbane.
People will be able to actually plant flowers.
Yes.
Okay, so dates. Can we do it in I'm even available in January. My January is pretty wide open. What do you guys think?
Yeah, mine is too.
Okay. What evenings are good for staff?
I mean, I would say usually a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is preferable.
Right. I like Tuesday evening. How about the 24th of January?
Good for me, Tom.
Yeah. Soccer's on Tuesdays and Thursdays till 6:30. What time we thinking? I could probably make it right at 6:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
6:30 is normal. We could
All
even
right.
6:45 and give you a little time.
That'd be great. I'm in.
All right.
15 minutes to eat dinner, Tom. There you go.
I'm in.
Okay, so that was January 24th at 6:45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other committees that need like timely meetings coming up in the spring? Anything you see, Noreen?
The only other one potentially is habitat restoration. And I will have to check with Jeff because that's a joint effort with Open Space and Ecology. And I know they already have their date for their planting event. So I'll check with Jeff to see whether a subcommittee meeting is needed. And if so, then I'll reach out to Renee and Julie about that.
Okay, great. So is that it for our meetings? Okay, we're moving on to item E, commissioners. Do any commissioners have anything they need to tell us? Nope. How about staff?
Always.
Okay.
All right, quick update. We had our 2 weeks of winter camp over the break that went well, with the exception of having to close for a couple days due to the weather. But our safety of our participants and our staff is of utmost priority. So I think most families were very understanding given the circumstances, and we were able to close out the second week that Friday, despite having to take Wednesday and Thursday off. So that was nice. Second through fifth grade basketball has started, as has middle school basketball, so that they are up and running. Starting this Saturday, we are bringing back our Piranha swim team. So that's exciting. That came out of a request from a handful of residents who were interested in bringing that back. So we're excited to bring it back after a couple years of a hiatus. We have our senior trip to Cache Creek coming up on the 19th. So Nicole's, I'm sure, looking forward to that. And then just a quick update on the Sierra Point Open Space and Parks Master Plan. We've been hard at work with that. CMG, the consultant that we're working with, has drafted kind of 3 conceptual designs. They presented that to staff a couple of weeks ago. It is going to the subcommittee tomorrow. Trudy is the one that's the Park and Rec Commission representative on that. And then once we receive input from the subcommittee, then we will be doing a public engagement process where we'll have an in-person workshop where people can come and see kind of the 3 concept designs and give their thoughts and input. And then we will also have the information available online for people to review and provide input if they're unable to come in person. So that process is moving along. We anticipate that it will continue rolling through the spring. So stay tuned for more information on that. We think that the public engagement workshop will be late January, early February. So once we have a flyer, I'm sure you will see it blasted all throughout the city and our social media platforms. We do have recruitments open for summer staffing for lifeguards and rec leaders. So if you know anybody that's interested, those recruitments are open. And then just wanted to touch base briefly with everybody. I know I sent an email from our legal counsel regarding the transition to hybrid and then back to in-person commission meetings. So this will be our last fully Zoom meeting, and then our February meeting will be hybrid. So we'll need to have some staff and commissioners in person on site at City Hall, some staff and commissioners on Zoom, and then March will be fully everybody in person, fully back in person with everybody at City Hall. So I will need a couple of volunteers from the commission to be in person. So let me know if you're willing to come in person for the February meeting. And then we will, oh, Tom raised his hand. Okay, Tom, you're in
I
person.
am too. Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, okay, great. Yeah, as long as there's a few on each, then we're good. So we'll firm that up between now and the next meeting so that everybody knows where they will be and how they will be accessing what they need.
And Noreen, do we definitely have to have some people at home?
Yes, we have to have at least one.
Okay, I can be at home if need be.
So we will firm that up so that
Okay.
we're on the same page about who's going to be where. And then finally, just wanted to share upcoming events for the department. So we have the Youth Advisory Committee is doing a dance on January 20th at Mission Blue. We have the Artist Evening of Sharing on January 28th, also at Mission Blue. That's always a very fun event. As I mentioned, the Habitat Planting Day is scheduled for February 4th. We have a Parents' Night Out event scheduled for February 10th. Perfect timing for Valentine's Day for those of you that have young children that want a date night out. And then our co-sponsored Mob Shop is scheduled for Mission Blue February 10th and 11th. And lastly, we have a Sweetheart Pickleball event that's going to take place on February 10th. And that's for folks ages 50 plus. So you can bring a loved one and participate in some fun pickleball. And the registration for that is open, and the deadline is February 3rd, right, Nicole? Okay. I think that's all I have. You're muted, Lisa.
Sorry, I was coughing. I didn't want you guys to hear. Wow, that sounds like so much fun. So many great things happening. I love this committee. This is where all the fun happens in town. It's where all the fun happens. Okay. So great. That's our staff report. Item number 10, commission matters. Written communications. Do we have any?
Nothing tonight.
Great, thanks. So I guess that's about it. I have next on my agenda is the adjournment. So I guess this meeting is adjourned.
And our next meeting will be February 8th, hybrid.
All right, get ready for that one. Thank you.
Can anyone stay on to talk about what happened in the Q&A?
I can.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to listen too. I think, was that at the start of the call when I was still trying to figure out how to operate Zoom?
Possibly. All right, we'll adjourn the meeting. We need to shut down the recording, right, Jovi?
Yeah, I believe Andy